Hi, and welcome to today's video. We'll be diving into the world of secondary storage today. It's the unsung hero that keeps all your files, games, and photos safe even when your computer is turned off. Whether you're storing homework on a USB memory stick, downloading games onto your laptop, or backing up family photos, understanding storage is key. So let's get started. By the end of this video, you'll be able to explain why secondary storage is essential. Hint, RAM alone won't quite cut it. Compare the three main types of storage: magnetic, like hard drives, optical, like DVDs, and solid state, like USB sticks. You should also be able to choose the best storage device for different tasks, whether it's speed for gaming, portability for schoolwork, or durability for travel. Stick around, we'll break it down with real world examples. Quick question: what happens to your unsaved essay if your laptop battery dies? Poof, it's gone. That's because RAM, which is your computer's short term memory, is volatile, meaning it needs power to hold data. But what about your saved files? They're on non volatile storage, like your hard drive or USB. Think of RAM as a whiteboard, which is temporary, and secondary storage, such as a filing cabinet, is permanent. Can you name a non volatile device you use daily? Comment below. Secondary storage is like your computer's long term memory. Unlike RAM, it's non volatile, so it keeps data even when powered off. It's also not directly accessed by the CPU. Instead, data gets copied to RAM first for faster use. Examples: your laptop's internal hard drive or external devices like USB sticks or cloud storage. Imagine secondary storage as a warehouse. It's not where the work happens, but it's where everything's stored for later. Let's make this practical. Secondary storage is everywhere. HDDs or hard drives in your laptop store your OS or operating system and games. Blu-rays deliver high definition movies. Yes, some people will still actually use them. USB sticks are lifesavers for transferring school projects. Even magnetic tape is used by companies to back up massive amounts of data. It's old school, but it's cheap. If you've used Google Drive or an SD card in your phone, that's secondary storage in action. Secondary storage comes in three flavors: magnetic, so hard drives with spinning platters, great for bulk storage; optical, which are CDs, DVDs. They're read by lasers and they're portable, but they're slower; solid state, or SSDs and USBs, no moving parts, and they're super fast. Picture this: magnetic is like a vinyl record, optical is like a laser etched book, and solid state is like a lightning fast digital notepad. Imagine a hard drive as a stack of vinyl records, but instead of music, each platter has tracks, or concentric circles, and sectors, or slices. A read write head on a mechanical arm hovers over the spinning platter to access data magnetically. Here's a fun fact: if you opened a hard drive, don't try this though, you see shiny platters and a tiny arm moving like a record player needle. Precision is key. Dust can actually really ruin the precision. HDDs are the workhorses of storage. The pros is that they're cheap, so around £50 for 2 terabytes, and huge capacity, up to 12 terabytes. That's around 24,000 hours of music. The disadvantage of the cons is that they're fragile. Drop one and the arm might scratch the platter. They're slower than SSDs and noisy. But it's best used for desktop PCs or budget laptops where storage space matters more than speed. Ever wondered how a DVD stores data? The surface has pits, or tiny holes, and lands, which are flat areas, arranged in a spiral. A laser beam reflects differently off pits and lands, translating to zeros and ones. A scratched DVD skips because the laser can't read damaged pits. Blu-rays store more data than DVDs because their pits are smaller, thanks to a blue laser which uses a shorter wavelength. This is where science meets storage. Here's the deal. CDs, which have around 700 megabytes, store one music album, and it uses a red laser. DVDs, which have around 4.7 gigabytes, fit a standard movie. Blu-rays, which can store up to around 50 gigabytes, hold over 10 HD movies. It uses a blue laser for tinier pits. Smaller pits equals more data in the same space. It's like writing with a fine-tip pen versus a marker. SSDs are the Ferraris of storage. No spinning disks, just flash memory chips. Data is stored by trapping electrons in cells, making them blazing fast. For example, an SSD boots Windows in 10 seconds. A HDD can take around a minute. No moving parts also mean they're silent and shockproof, and they're perfect for laptops. SSDs are awesome, but not perfect. The advantages include that they're durable and they're great for travel. They're silent and energy efficient. However, there are some disadvantages, and that could include that they're more expensive. So they could cost around £100 for up to around £100 for 1 terabyte, in comparison to £40 for a terabyte's worth of a HDD or a hard drive. Gamers and professionals who need speed, your phone, they're used by gamers and professionals who need speed. Your phone likely uses SSD like flash memory too. Flash memory, such as USB sticks or SD cards, they're portable, they're durable, and plug and play. USB sticks from around 16 gigabytes you could use for homework, and they can go all the way up to 1 terabyte where you can fit entire movie collections. SD cards, they expand your phone or camera storage. Picture this. Have you ever lost a USB stick? Perhaps you have, perhaps you haven't. But that's the downside. They're tiny but easy to misplace. Picking storage isn't one size fits all. In terms of capacity, if you need 50 gigabytes for photos or 2 terabytes for games. Speed would mean the SSD is ideal for gaming. If you needed to store things in archive, you might consider using a HDD. If you are looking for portability, USB would probably be best for portability to take work to school and bring work from school. HDD might be the best suited for home backups. In terms of durability, SSDs would survive drops. DVDs don't. Here's a question though for you to think about. Would you back up 500 gigabytes worth of video on DVDs? Probably not. You'd need 60 plus discs. So let's do the math. And it's painless, I promise. If you have 5,000 photos at 10 megabytes each, that's 50 gigabytes in total. You have some options though. The first would probably be a 64 gigabyte USB stick, which would cost you around £10, or a 256 gigabyte SSD, which might go up to around £50. But what you might want to do is avoid DVDs. You'd need more than 10 in order to store all that data on a DVD. Well, the moral of the story is always check file size before buying storage. And another thing that you may want to consider is obviously the purpose of what you actually want to store on that particular device. Here's a quick quiz to test your knowledge. So name the 3 storage technologies we've covered. True or false? HDDs are more durable than SSDs. Define non-volatile. Pause and think. Answers in 3, 2, 1. Well, our answer to the first question is magnetic, optical, solid state. These are the 3 storage technologies that we've covered today. Question 2, HDDs are more durable than SSDs. That's false. Question 3, where we need to define non-volatile. Well, non-volatile means that it keeps data without power. To wrap up, secondary storage is essential, diverse and task dependent. Whether it's a cheap HDD for bulk storage, a speedy SSD for gaming, or a USB stick for school, choose wisely based on your needs. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'd love to help. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to save your work, preferably on more than one device. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.